But first, is there some sort of business your town or city needs but doesn't have?
We usually leave it to the developers or businesses themselves to make those things happen. But Don Kerrigan is here with the story of one Maine town where they got the business they needed in a very different way.
They did. They didn't want to wait for somebody else to do it. We're talking about hotels here. Places like Portland, Bangor, or all along the coast, seems like hotels are everywhere. But what if you live in a smaller community or that's maybe a bit out of the way that doesn't have a hotel at all? That used to be the case in Rumford. It is, at last, almost done. Some more mulch, some final trim touch-ups, and the Rumford Falls Best Western Plus is finished. When you drive up and see this,
I feel good. I feel good. I think, you know, I help do part of this thing, and it makes you feel a little proud that you were involved in it.
a lot of people around Rumford share that pride because this hotel has a story few can match. 7 years ago, Rumford had some B&Bs and a very small hotel downtown, but this community of more than 5,000 people had lost its other hotels. One had burned, another converted to condos. Jim Rinaldo was economic development director then and asked a local business leader about it.
He says, you know, I always wondered why we didn't have a hotel in Rumford. I said, well, let's call a meeting.
And that's how it began. He says they got around 15 people together, they all gave money, and the hotel project was on. Andy St. Pierre and Dick Lovejoy both became investors.
We recognize the need in the valley for a hotel.
Was it a tough sell with people?
Well, some people bought on, other people didn't.
There were days where we didn't think it would materialize.
Looking back now, how risky was this?
It was risky. There were times when we didn't know if we were going to keep going.
The investor group grew. Andy St. Pierre says they raised $2 million from their own pockets, but the bank said it wasn't enough.
The group didn't give up, but I think at some point in time we didn't know what the future was going to be, but we kept moving on. We didn't give up. No one gave up.
In business, like in real estate, location makes a difference. And the investors say a hotel expert told them this spot, right next to the intersection of busy Route 2, was the place for the hotel. Did people around think you guys were crazy at any point?
Oh yeah. If you checked on Facebook, a lot of people thought we were stupid. They said it would never happen, it was going to fail.
But the investors say they were sure it could work. The paper mill, busy Route 2, the local ski area, the distance to other hotels, all told them a hotel was needed here. And then
There was a key investor that came forward with a sum of money that took us over the top.
the 29 investors had raised $3.2 million. The bank said yes, they had the loan to build. And in winter of 2019, construction began.
Well, it was cold. We had to thaw the ground before we could excavate.
Seeing something going on in the ground made a big impression to me. That was kind of the point that we could look ahead, not look back.
Then COVID hit, complicating their work and driving a huge price increase. A project they once hoped would cost $5 million ended up between $6 and $9 million. But they kept going. Best Western had signed on and recruited John Gessner to be general manager.
Rumford? Question mark? And then I talked with a few people and everyone said, Rumford?
He took the job anyway and was pleasantly surprised.
And the second I saw the property, saw the location, saw the amount of business that's actually here in the valley, I was sold.
Most of our suites get used for weddings.
Perseverance paid off. The 63-room hotel opened in May. Slow at first, Gessner says, but it quickly picked up. He says they were busy in July and especially in August.
August, we were at a level of business that you would have expected from a hotel who had been established for 10 years.
And the GM says fall is looking good. It turns out the combination of local need
When's the hotel going to open? When can we have our family reunion? When can we have a wedding? When can we have a class reunion?
works well with location.
We sort of stumbled into being a popular destination with people traveling from Canada.
And with the paper mill bringing in more contractors who need places to stay, with Black Mountain Ski Area close by and Sunday River less than an hour away, they expect winter business too. The local snowmobile club even extended its trail system right to the hotel parking lot. So last week, the investors and others got together to celebrate.
It's pretty exciting, especially having a finished product.
After 7 years, the local people have done it. From a dream to open doors, bringing something the town needed to life. You investors eventually make your money back, do you think?
We're hoping we will. We think, well, let's put it, we think we will.
That's not the primary reason for doing it.
No, it never has been. It never has been the primary reason that we're going to make money.
They would all like to get their investments back, of course, but Dick Lovejoy says it's always been about more than their own money.
And some of us, I think, thought it was better. We were trying to make Rumford, downtown Rumford, bigger and better than it has been.
Driving up to the hotel, says Jim Rinaldo, makes you feel proud. 29 mostly local people who literally put their money on the line, not for themselves, but for this mill town in the Androscoggin Valley they call home.
Yeah, inspiring group of people, and one of them said they almost didn't believe it when it finally was open. So maybe there's a lesson there for other communities. You see a need, don't wait for somebody else, roll up the sleeves and get her done.
Good advice. Don, thank you.
Thank you.